The Canes are back on the ice tonight. And back in the States tonight at Detroit. The five games in Canada just kind of, hey, try to flush those from the memory aside from the last one against Ottawa.
They're over. They're done with.
What happens in what is it? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happened in Canada stayed in Canada. Just leave those up there. The Canes played well against Ottawa on Tuesday, though, so that would be the game to remember if you're going to build off something. Today is the day we get to see if that game against Ottawa mattered at all. Right? We asked it immediately after the game, right? Almost as soon as 4-1 was the final score, we said, all right, was that game the product of the Canes locking back in, right? Buying in, which was a concern. The top guys played well. Is that a sign of, a product of the Canes getting their own act together? Or is that a product of Ottawa not having their act together? Well, tonight is the night we can start to see which it is, right? Winning against Ottawa means nothing by itself, right? If you lose 4 games, you beat Ottawa, and then you go back to your losing ways, it means absolutely nothing, right? Dennis and I talk about get-right games all the time. A get-right game doesn't matter if you don't continue to be right against better teams. You can get right against a bad team all you want.
You got to stay right.
It's get right, stay right.
Mm-hmm.
We need to print the T-shirts.
Yes.
Get right, stay right.
Stay right.
Get right, stay right. Right now, they're going up against Detroit. Detroit is good enough to count, right? It's a good enough team that if you beat them, that's more tangible. And even they're 15-9-4, which might not scream like, oh, look at this daunting squad. They're what, 4th in the division?
Something like that.
But it does. I mean, yes, you could. By the way, you could watch the games and see how good they are. That's always one possibility. But if you're like, listen, there's a Canes game seemingly every other night. I'm not going to also allocate time to keep up with the Red Wings on the off chance that they're going to play the Canes. You could just look at some stats and say, whoa, Detroit's second in the NHL in goals.
Yeah, and goals per game.
They're second? Okay, all right. Defense is going to be tested tonight. Like, that's all you need to know. Goalie, whoever's in goal, going to be tested tonight. But more importantly than that, right? Because, going up against a team with a good offense, you're saying your defense has to step up? Thanks for the excellent analysis. More importantly, I think the focus will be tested tonight. I think how locked in they are or how much they've let up will be tested tonight. If you have a single second of lapse in focus against one of these teams at the top, it can get sideways on you fast, right? And I'm talking at the top of the goal scorers. Saw it with Edmonton, right? Did not take long for that game to go sideways. Just a couple of lapses in judgment right out the gate, and it felt like you were down 2 before you even got on the ice.
41 seconds.
41 seconds, you're down 2.
There were literally dudes had not stepped on the ice yet. Like, oh, it's 2-0. Okay.
All right, this game just changed. Hey, everybody, different vibe. Like, that's all it takes. And it doesn't have to be the first 41 seconds, right? It could be any 41-second segment of the game. If you let up, if you have a lapse, if you don't focus, if you make a mental error, you can jump right back into giving up 2 goals, in 41 seconds or less. So if Detroit can take advantage and find the back of the net on any little lapse, it's up to you not to have any of those little lapses, right? It's up to you to be that locked in. It's up to you to be that bought in, which is kind of the thing that's been the narrative recently, right? Some guys got to buy in. Everybody's got to be playing their role. Everybody's got to be on the same page. So it's a test of, did that Ottawa game actually get you right? Meaning, did the 4-game losing streak prior to Ottawa wake you up to the point where you're not going to go back to sleep again? That's the question. Did it wake you up enough to wake you up for a split second? You ever have that one? Taking a nap on the couch and you wake up, you look at the clock and go right back to sleep? Mm-hmm. Hey, did you wake up? Yeah, technically, but you're still asleep.
I know plenty of people that do that.
But then there's the time where you wake up and then you roll over and try to go back to sleep and you can't, and that's frustrating, right? Wait a second, Temperature's good. The pillow is comfy. Like, come on, let me sleep. Brain doesn't let you. That's what we need to know about the Canes, right? Did that 4-game streak, did you wake up, Ottawa, 4-1 win, roll over, go back to sleep? Or did you wake up, 4-1 win, now I can't go back to sleep. Now I'm wired. Now I have energy. And that's really all it comes down to. Because, like I said, the Red Wings, like, they can score. They find the back of the net, and they're doing so at the second best clip in all of the NHL. But I still don't think they're the most talented team in the world, right? I still don't think they're a squad that the Canes should look at. And if you just go, player for player, skater for skater, defenseman for defenseman, all the way down the roster, I still think the Canes should be able to claim the most talented title in the game. So it comes down to, how do you execute? It comes down to, is everyone bought in? It comes down to, they depend a lot on their blue line to go score, right? If you get a little shuffled up, how's the communication? How's the rotation? Are you getting back and helping your guy out if he's out of position? Mm-hmm. And then a conversation that's been happening for the last 2 weeks pretty adamantly, does your goalie bail you out occasionally?
Yeah.
Like as great as your defense plays against certain teams, they're gonna get their shots because they're good at getting their shots. And occasionally you just need somebody to make a play in goal.
I mean, Kochetkov won them that game against Ottawa, let's be real.
And if he plays like he did against Ottawa, I really like their chances against Detroit.
I like him against anybody.
Very, very, very well said. If he's diving poke check, and if he's coming around and using his blocker hand to stop sticks when he can't reach the puck, like if he's like, that's the and one mixtape tour goalie. Like if he's
pulling the old double pad stack.
If he is, yeah, exactly. If he is a street ball goalie there, yeah, I like their chances. But you're going to be tested. You're not going to be able to get out of there with, hey, goalie didn't really have to do much. That's not going to happen tonight, I guarantee you.
Now, we always talked about consistency. We've heard Rob Brind'amour say it. We've heard the players say it. All right, if you want to be consistent, this is where you have to play, again, at your level tonight. And then you got to do it again tomorrow night. And think about just what this road trip has been. This is the game 6 of this long road trip. 6 and 12? Like 6 games in 12 days, and you got another game tomorrow against Nashville at home. It's taxing on these guys. These guys got to be worn out.
And if your first home game of your homestand after a long road trip is the second half of a back-to-back, it really doesn't even feel like home, right? Because it's not like you're coming back and you're seeing family and everything. You're going to come back, you're going to land late, you're going to go to sleep, you're going to wake up and leave to go play a game. It's really like you're not getting a good home-cooked meal or seeing your if you have kids, you're not hanging out with your kids before the next game. Your road trip really doesn't end until after tomorrow's home game.
It's like you empty the mailbox. That's really about it.
Take the trash cans up into the garage, and then that's about it. Then you're going back to the arena.